And today's topic is, what's in a word? We'll be discussing the word niggas. That's right, you heard right, the word niggas. We'll be discussing this today with our guest, Hakim Green. He's a co-host of the blog radio show, The Hour Truth, independent artist, and public speaker. And let's see, I got me, I got my guest, I got my topics, I got my questions. DJ, what's your name?
It's your boy DJ Big Jeff. Let's go.
Imagine, one day you learned that your child has cancer. Wouldn't you want there to be a cure? Me too. Visit stbaldricks.org to learn how you can help find a cure.
I must admit, when I first sat down to draw up these questions, it was an extremely difficult process. This word carries a lot of emotion, from anger to sadness, from suicide to homicide. As a race of people, this word has a long, painful, ugly history associated with it. And also, for some of us, on an individual basis. But here, to better explain and educate us on the word niggas and its original origin, is Mr. Hakim Green. For those of us that don't know you, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Most people know me as half of the group Channel Live, rap group that came out in 1994-95 under KRS-One, Knowledge, Reign, Supreme. Prior to being a rapper, entertainer, I was a school teacher at the East Orange Hart Middle School Complex in East Orange, New Jersey.
Okay, and so what does the word niggas mean?
Nigger has its root, let me put it this way, when our ancient ancestors, when the original man was forming language, he used the NG consonant sound to mean Most High, King, God. In the Word there was the beginning, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. That word we thought, or we said, was NGS. Niggas, Naga, Ingu Inga, Niger, Nigeria, Nzinga are all forms of that original NG sound.
So, okay, so I purposely left a whiteboard next to you on the side if you look over.
Oh, yeah. Hey.
Could you show us what the different spellings for niggas is, and where do some of those spellings originate from?
Okay, well, we have nigga, which is, that's the Ebonic pronunciation of
Right.
the N-I-G-G-E-R. We look at the N-I-G-G-R as a racist term. So Caucasians, through their migrations, and as people migrate, language changes and languages bend, pronounce a hard ER. But we know with etymology, which is the science of words, that vowel sounds don't count. The constant meaning is in the consonant sound. So what we're really interested in is in the NGGR or the NGS sound, right? So we have nigga, we have negus, Negus. Now, the official definition for negus is a king, sovereign, ruler of Ethiopia prior to 1974. But when we pronounce negus, it sounds like niggas.
Right.
Because the vowels don't count. We have naga. Naga, Naga, the meaning is the serpent kings. And in ancient times, the serpent kings were the masters of the serpentine energy force. They were the masters of the Kundalini spirit. They were very disciplined, righteous people who were, had their third eye open, so to speak. And when the third eye was open, they would use a snake, the serpent, to symbolize the third eye or the Kundalini spirit reaching its pinnacle. And that's Naga. We have Ingu. Ingu can be found in ancient Africa as a term meaning king. We have Inga, right? Inga's pronounced Nga, right?
Right.
Also Inga, right?
Right.
As Inga. We also have Inca, right?
Right.
Inca. The G can easily be a C. Inga, Inca. Inga, as language,
Wow.
as accent changes.
So as we evolved, the word came with us. We just unknowingly moved right along with it and denying ourselves.
Now, to the second half of your question, what happened is not that the word is negative. Now, my negative is an English word that represents a concept. The concept is not bad. It's how the concept is being represented. So Europeans, Caucasians, the power structure represents niggas in a very derogatory way. So we don't want to be niggas no more because someone else says it's not positive to be niggas.
Why do some of us African Americans and Latinos have an issue with this word? And why are we deliberately misinformed of its true origin?
Because, you know, again, when you're rooted in self, when you have self-identity and you have pride in yourself, you understand that anything is accomplishable. You can manifest, you can acquire anything. To remove a people away from their true self-identity is to totally handicap them from achieving. It's to take them away from achievement. I was watching a program on a young girl who did, a young Caucasian girl, brilliant young sister, who did a research project which proved that procrastination is a direct result of a low self-esteem. When people have low self-esteem, when they don't think that they can achieve, they tend to procrastinate. So when we find our young people daydreaming, wandering off into space, procrastinating, not achieving how we think they should achieve, it has a lot to do with their self-identity, the way they feel about themselves, the pride that they have within themselves. But we also know that our young folks use the word nigga like it's going out of style.
Hakim, hold that thought because we'll be right back.
It's not acceptable to call me a nigger.
It's not acceptable to call me a spick.
To call me a chink.
To call me a fag.
It's not acceptable to call me a kike.
And it's not acceptable to call me a retard or call yourself or your friends retarded when they do something foolish.
The R word is the same as every minority slur. Treat it that way and don't use it.
Spread the word to end the word.
Negus.
And Andrew, would you say the word loudly for the judges?
Negus.
One more time.
Negus.
Negus.
Negus. Negus. Negus. Negus.
Welcome back to We're on the Move. I'm here sitting with Hakim Green discussing the true origin of the word niggas. To be better equipped and use this word properly, do we need to be educated with a full understanding of the content of its history in this country?
I mean, I think it's only fair that we get to the root of things, that we get to the source of things. In order to have a proper understanding and a proper perspective, let's get back to the origin of things. when we say something's primitive,
Right.
that's kind of dismissive and devalued. But the root word of primitive is prime. The prime is the source of all. So primitive culture is the doorway to who we really are. Primitive culture is the doorway to God.
Is it really just a word if it evokes so much emotion and memory?
When we say it's only a word, let's in the beginning was the Word. And the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Now words are vibrations. It's the audible, the representation of a concept, of an idea. Ideas have resonance. Ideas vibrate. Everything vibrates, right? And what we do is to represent an idea, a vibration, we formulate a word. What's happened is that word has been taken away from its original meaning. When we again go back to the source, in the beginning was the Word. That Word was with God, and that Word was God. Well, in the beginning, we said God was nigga. I learned this from my involvement in hip hop culture, is that when you down by law and you fly like that, and you got that swagger like that, people want to be that. I think it's up for those who are righteous, those who are conscious, those who are upright in their ways and actions should represent divineness and godliness in their action, and nigga will take a whole different.
So how did you turn this word around in your head? Was it a difficult process for you? Did you receive self-therapy? Because listen, I'm just right now, this is my self-therapy.
I wrote a song, the big hit we put out in the 90s was a song called Madism. The B-side of Madism was a song called Cause and Effect, which was encouraging people not to use the word. Me and Tuffy, my partner, wanted that to be the first single, but we lost, all right? Then I got the proper understanding, got the revelation. Right. And I have a new song called My Niggas that I'm going to be dropping very, very soon, which puts the word back into, again, proper perspective. Like, there's folks out there who want us to take the word niggas out of our vocabulary. Now, remember, the word is not the spelling, because the consonant sound is the constant.
It's the meaning
right.
that we have, that we associated with our memory.
Right. Now, if we take negas out of our vocabulary, we can't say the negas ruled Ethiopia until the coup of 1974. We can't say that. And that's the truth. Like,
yeah, you're right. And you're right. And you're right.
We can't say Nagas were the serpent kings of Asia.
You're right. And you're right.
Can't say that.
Okay, so do you believe that African Americans and Latinos and all people of African descent should embrace and reclaim the word or the name, not the word, the name niggas?
I think that, you should do some self-analysis, and you should do what makes you feel comfortable. I'm not saying that we should, have this term nigga, and we should like we're all African American. It's cool to be African American. But I remember in the 70s, if you call a black person African American, they'd cut you. People, in the 70s, we wasn't African. I didn't come from Africa. To call someone African, we call African booty scratcher. To call somebody African was a derogatory term.
That was way before I was born. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, word. Okay. But now, as we got more knowledge and information and more study, and we realize that Africa is the birthplace of all humanity, now we claim that, we honor that, we have pride in that. All I'm saying is that there's this word. We call it the N-word. Nigga, Naga, Negus, Ingu, Inga, Nzinga, Niger, Nigeria. There's something to that word that's more than meets the eye, and it's more than what our enemy tells us that word means.
Do you believe that seeking acceptance of others is just another means of denying ourselves? Is that one of the major reasons why we're not moving cohesively and consistently together as a group?
All right, before I answer that question, let me preface it by saying I don't like to believe in anything. I either know or I don't. And if I don't know, I should find out. I don't know everything, but I need to find out, okay? Right. Believing is the lazy person's way out.
Okay.
Okay. Now.
But I'm going to use that word believe a lot.
Okay. Understanding is key, all right? Not understanding. Understanding is key. And inner, to go in, is the reflection of the outer, because as above, so below. All right? Every element in nature can be found in the human body. Every problem that exists outside yourself can be conquered within yourself first. What's outside is a reflection of what's inside. So, back to your question, when we get the self right, when we start going in for the answers, the world will reflect that correction in. We got to go in to correct it, and then the world, the outer, will correct itself.
And so it's time to steer you to a break, and we're going to steer you right back to We're on the Move. My name is Soraya Soy Free, and we'll be right back.
Look at your shoes, dude. You're ugly in that space. You need to keep my clothes the same hole. Dude, I told you. Finally!
Episode of We're on the Move. I'm your host, Soraya Soy Free, and I'm sitting here with Mr. Hakim Green. Should we abolish the word for every man that got hung, every sister that was raped, every little girl, every little boy that ran home crying because they didn't understand why he was called that word, and for every student that got slapped and spat on, kicked and punched?
No, we shouldn't. I've been called nigger, by a white boy. And, at that point in my life, at 9 years old, I was very emotional because I had these preconceived notions as to what he was talking about and what he meant.
Did you ever get spit on, beat up, stomped,
spit on, but whether
kicked,
they were calling you nigger or black person, they spit on you, they stomped you, they beat you.
Good point.
Like,
Good point.
You black so-and-so and so-and-so.
Yeah.
You black this, that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the word, it's what is attached.
The memories.
To it.
Yes.
And again, it's some